Alright, so we're doing this again, this time with more words. I think it's important to note that I'm slowly moving us closer to talking about like a single video game. So this video is me talking about 4 games instead of 10. Next one should be 2 games. My bar for the minimum word count has changed based on the last video, as I try to determine how many words I actually speak per minute. So this video is going to be a lot longer, to make sure at the minimum each review is at least 2 minutes. Once again, please tell me things you'd like me to see improved upon in this format, whether it be visual or audio. I want this video game review project to get better as I produce the more full game review videos. And with that being said, let's get on to the actual video. Factorio. Factorio is one of the best automation games I've ever played. The game being made by programmers for programmers really helps when creating the most unoptimized creation within the game, because the game can actually tank you doing dumb shit. Also, with how well the game runs, there's a whole subsection of the community dedicated to mega basing, where they tried to build the biggest factory possible to produce the most, with the only limitation being the game slowing down. I personally haven't felt a draw to continue expanding the factory once I built the rocket and finished the game, because progress at that point is just infinite. There's no real goal to push me forward at that point, but I still want to build that big factory. So I've recently played a run where I made the research cost be 10 times, so in theory it results in me needing to build 10 times a bigger factory to beat the game. Right? And it was pretty entertaining for me, and it made me realize how much I like that ever-expanding factory part of the game. And as of right now, I'm about 1/3 of the way through a 100 times science cost run, and surely I'll finish that in the year 2026. I sure as hell hope so. And with that in mind, this game also falls under the great tech spiral that Minecraft has, where there are so many different ways to play this game, so many different mods to completely change the game. Like from your basic quality of life mods that make early game a little less annoying, with starting with a personal roboport, and you have complete overhaul mods that make the game a billion times longer with 1,000 new crafting recipes. It really is like a ever-expanding amount of things that you could do in this game. Well, the price of the game is extremely up there, especially for someone like me who usually spends like $5 to $15 on a video game. $35 is out of this fucking world. Luckily for me, I was able to at least play the game through my Steam family. I later did actually buy the game to have access to the mod manager, but I have heard that the best way for a new player to play the game is usually through the demo. Apparently it's like 8 hours long, so you should be able to get a fairly good experience on whether or not you should actually buy the game outright. ULTRAKILL. I'm not good at FPS games, but I was capable of enjoying ULTRAKILL on its default settings. I think the game's very well done in its ability to make you use every gun you have, and it kind of forces you in a way in terms of the score multiplier. Unlike other games that have like a full arsenal via ammo limitations, ULTRAKILL does it with its scoring system. The scoring system is what really makes the game special, I think. The game has a special P rank that you can get for achieving S rank on all your kills, time, style, and also not dying. So this requires you to beat the level quickly, while also eliminating all enemies, and also the existence of that style meter makes the game a lot more interesting when it comes to getting these P ranks. You know, it's not just about the speed and precision, but also the skill of being able to use more than one weapon, right? It makes it harder for you to cheese the game due to you being forced to do quote-unquote cool shit. The maps in this game are amazing. All of them are so unique that you could probably take a screenshot of even the most bland room and know which level it's from. Even with the themes of these different floors, worlds, whatever you call them, it still manages to keep all of these levels different, with different challenges that are pertinent to those individual levels. I did have issues with finding all of the secret orbs in each level, and I will consult the internet if I'm wandering a level for 5 minutes without making any progress. I personally really like the way this game goes about influencing you to switch weapons. Most games will encourage you to switch weapons via a limited ammo pool. I'm not going to use this super powerful shotgun if I only have 6 shots left. I'm going to use this dinky pistol until it runs out of ammo. But in this game, due to the score being what influences you to switch weapons and not an ammo pool, it makes it a little more interesting, I feel. However, the more style you build using a certain weapon causes that style multiplier to decrease to 50% or even 0% if you use it for too long. So you need to switch weapons to get a higher score. It's a very good way to try to influence the player to try a different weapon even if they don't really want to. I highly suggest trying this game out. It has lower difficulties, and despite what the ultra freaks might make you think, playing a game at a fun difficulty is fun. Ctrl Alt Ego. Immersive sims are a genre that people cannot actually give a real definition to, just games that are or are not immersive sims. Ctrl Alt Ego is one of the best immersive sims ever made, and the way this game goes about these ImSim elements makes it extremely unique to any other ImSim I've played. In this game, you function as a bodiless ego. You're not bound to a single entity within the world, so you have the option to face a challenge by taking over another entity such as a pup, sneaking through a level, or you can take over a dad and dematerialize the other threats in the room, or you can use Bug 22 and shoot your way through. The amount of options this game provides are near limitless. Contrary to what I said about not being bound to a single entity, Bug 22 is the only robot in the game that can actually respawn and upgrade, so they're the closest you get to having an actual body. Only issue is that Bug 22 is labeled as a hostile at all times. But if you play the game like me and generally navigate around as a pup, the enemies don't view you as hostile unless you get a little too suspicious within their sightline. The upgrades that you can give Bug 22 allow you to interact with the world in different ways. You can give yourself the ability to fly, and that can eventually be upgraded to you being able to rocket towards an enemy to deal damage. Or you can give yourself the ability to download yourself to a different location and upgrade that to being able to spawn other entities such as a pup. Or you could just use the drill and play BioShock 2. These upgrades generally come at the cost of both worms and upgrade discs. You need the discs, usually stored inside of a pup hidden in the level, to open up that upgrade path, and then the worms help towards increasing the power of those upgrades. The worms are hidden but are more plentiful and make such a gross noise when nearby, so they're not annoying to locate. Due process. I haven't really enjoyed the gameplay of many tactical games in a long time. I only really play Counter-Strike to interact with random people on the internet, but Due Process is fundamentally a different game when it comes to strategy. The randomly generated maps force you and your team to come up with a full plan on a map that no one has seen before. It levels the playing field just a little bit from this lack of map knowledge being forced on everyone. It provides a on-the-spot thinking that I haven't really seen before, especially in a tactical shooter. I've long forgotten all the CSGO smoke lineups I once knew, but in this game, I won't get made fun of for not knowing a smoke lineup because this is the first time we've all seen this map. Another thing this game does very differently is its economy. It's not a class-based thing like Rainbow Six, and it's not a cash-based thing like Counter-Strike. You have a set amount of weapons and utility that need to be rationed out between 3 maps before a side switch. So when it comes to power weapons like the Mop or Saber, you need to think about, if we lose this round, this gun is not only lost to us, but can also be taken by the enemy team for the remaining rounds. So this usually causes you to only bring these weapons on long-range maps, or even positioning the sniper if you're on attack outside of the building, so even if you lose the round, the defending team can't run out and steal the gun without being shot down by the UAV. One negative is that this game actually isn't true randomly generated maps. There's probably about 200 in rotation, and maybe 10 maps get swapped out every week. Nowadays, probably every month. So you can learn the maps with enough playtime, right? You're able to start recognizing maps and already have that plan set in your mind. You know, it's not the most damaging thing in the world, because the order of these maps is still random. You know, it's very unlikely you get the same 3 maps in a row more than once. So even if you know the best strat on these 2 maps is to use a wall charge here or here, you still have to think about which map it's more beneficial on, because you only have 1 wall charge. The game goes on sale pretty often for literally $1 US, so I'd suggest trying it out the next big sale. That's when there's usually also more than 10 people playing at the same time. Okay, so maybe there's an improvement to the script this time. I still feel like it's not great, but I guess that's the point of the project. You know, you can only improve upon failure. Buddy, I'm improving. Probably, I hope. Hopefully I can start working on these more to fast track the improvement, but we'll see where my time is allocated. Leave a comment so more people see this with their eyes, and also provide criticism. That would be awesome and cool. Also, I stream on Twitch sometimes, hopefully playing a bad indie game and not due process for the finals, I hope. Next video should be Factorio and due process, so I hope I have a lot more to say about those games. Hooray, goodbye. Goodbye, bye, 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 see, bye.